My name is Tracy Campbell, where I love to inspire you with all things that are primitive, rustic, down home, country, decorating, and home living. Come on in. I can't wait to see who's here today. We have a midweek check-in today. Every Wednesday at noon, I try my best to be here to meet you live for just kind of like a midweek check-in, giving you updates on what's going on in my world. And that means here in my neck of the woods in Northwest Kentucky at my sweet home living, and also in my other favorite community online is Craft Round the Clock. Love to give you all updates for both places. So come on in. We're going to chat a little bit for just a few minutes, and then I have a fun project. Come in. Hey, Miss Mary, Miss Kelly, Miss Taylor. Welcome in. Hey, Miss Cindy, Tammy, Mary. Everybody's rolling on in. I'm so excited to see you all today. Real quick, before we get any further, I know several of you have been messaging, asking questions about the Pennsylvania meetup. You set your alarms for Monday at 5 p.m. Central Time. I will be announcing the updates for our hotel accommodations that we will be where we will be staying. However, you are more than welcome to select your own hotel accommodations. But not Wednesday, but Monday at 5 p.m. Central Time, I will be posting on my page, My Sweet Home Living, and on YouTube where our hotel accommodations will be. Actually, you know what? I'll take that back. I'm not posting it publicly on my page. I'll be posting it in the Pennsylvania Meetup group. And I need to give you all the link to that group. And I will do so in the comments, and I will make a post on my page. That's what I'll do. I'll make a post on my page about the Pennsylvania Meetup group where you can go find the group, and then that's where the hotel accommodations will be, because we want to keep those hotel accommodations somewhat private for safety reasons. So you'll be watching for the group link, and that way I can kind of screen individuals as they come in to join that group. Okay, so who's ready to craft today? I hope you are. And if you haven't already been today, we have a full lineup in the Craft Round the Clock group all day, Monday through Friday. Hey, Indiana girl, Miss Carrie in the house. Live crafting Monday through Friday in the Craft Round the Clock group on Facebook. Live crafting is hard to find, and so we bring it to you there in that group, and we would love for you to join us there. And we do have some live crafting for Saturday this weekend. Usually our Saturdays and Sundays we spend time off, but this Saturday we will have some crafting happening all day on Saturday. Good morning, or well, good afternoon, Miss Pat. How are you? So come in. I have something that you've seen me do in the past, but let me tell you, it's been a while. Do you all remember this? I was going to pull out the original one that I made, but I have it. It's sitting on top of my jelly cupboard, and it is a little hard to get out because the cord's kind of wrapped or kind of positioned behind the cabinet and everything. And I thought, oh, I'm not going to pull that out. This was an actual wooden birdhouse that I found a couple of years ago at the Dollar Tree. I think it was a Dollar Tree Plus is where I found this birdhouse. But I have seen some that are kind of similar at Hobby Lobby. There's even an online website called Factory Direct Crafts. I have seen some very similar. We are going to take this little house. We're going to turn it into a candle or a Saltbox house lamp. You all know I've been on the little electric candle kick lately, right? Well, I have another electric candle project for you today. And we've had lots of new friends join us since the original Saltbox house lamp that I made a couple of years ago. I should have gone back to see what year that was. I believe it was 2, maybe 3 years ago that we made that lamp. So I have held on to this the entire time. Would you believe that? Yeah, this is dated 2022, but I was able to, I did grab 2 of them at the time, but after that, I never saw them again, ever again at the Dollar Tree Plus. They were $5, and it's actually a wooden, what they call a birdhouse, but we turn it into a Saltbox house lamp. So I'm going to recreate this one. I need one back here in my little display area. So I thought, well, this is the perfect little size to fit and right at the very moment I'm live. Y'all welcome to my crazy world. I don't know whether I'm coming or going most days. Can't wait to see this. Oh, good, Susan. Well, there we go. Are we back? There we go. It was my pharmacy calling to tell me my prescription's in. And it froze our YouTube stream. There we go. I know, Victoria, that I've never seen them again, but I have seen some that are similar. This one is made with a solid piece on the top and the back, and that's traditionally what Saltbox homes look like. They usually don't have these little gables at the top, but they have straight lines, very tall and straight. Just think of tall and straight, and that's typically the style of a Saltbox home. So I am able to heat this up. We're going to take these little gables off of the top, and they're on there with glue. And if I remember correctly, I was able to heat these up with a little bit of my heat tool here, and I was able to pry these little gables off. Now we will see. Like I said, it's been a hot minute since these were made. So the glue, I don't know if it'll come off as easy or not. We'll see. We're going to see if we can't pry these off. And then we're going to proceed with painting, and we're going to use the little candle lamp to turn this into a sweet little lit a house. I am so tongue-tied today. You've made a Saltbox house out of cardboard. Yes, Miss Wanda. I have seen those, and I have made some Saltbox house magnets before. Like I said, this one has been in my stash for 3 years. 3 years. 3 years. Can you believe it? So we are going to see if we can't make this one work for us today. And this really, we're going to just let that heat sit on there for a little bit. And I tell you what we'll do. I am going to go ahead and open this package. These are little rectangular wood pieces from Hobby Lobby. They're in their unfinished wood section. These are 5x7 rectangular pieces. I've had these for a hot minute too. And you'll be able to see wherever I've had these sitting, they must have, the light has faded them. You can see where the sticker was on that. It's not going to even matter for this because that's going to be covered up. So we're going to leave that right there. We are going to stain this we're just going to use that antiquing wax for this. I think I had to have a hammer for this. My memory is slowly coming back for me. I think I had to have a hammer. You'll see what I'm doing here. Hopefully this works. We'll see. I need like 4 hands. Let's set this down on my table right here. And let's put that right there. Well, can't get it to tilt. Okay. You can't see that on camera, can you? That's okay. I just have my little heat tool right on that for a minute. I can't leave it unwatched. Oh, well, I need the napkins. I guess I can use wet wipes. Paper towels, I mean. My brain and mouth are not connecting today. I'm going to wet this little wood piece down. My comments have stopped. You haven't seen those since I know, Stephanie. I have seen some similar online at Factory Direct Crafts, and Hobby Lobby has some that are similar that I think could probably work. So we'll look around. I did a quick Google search before I started my live early, today, and I did see some that were super similar at Factory Direct Crafts online. So check them out if you really want something that's pretty similar or almost exact, but not exact. I'm just taking this wet wipe and I'm just rubbing this piece down. I don't want it stained a whole lot. I just want it to have a little bit of a color. I'm going to paint the Saltbox house piece black. Okay. Just because I feel like black is a good color that will match any of my pieces that I put on this table behind me is where I'm wanting to put this little lamp when we're finished. Or it would also look really cute on my sewing table. It would look really cute, but I don't need to clutter up my sewing table too much. I've got several things on there. I might have to change some things out if I want this on there. This is just a sweet little night light that just has a little bit of a glow. And sometimes these little Saltbox houses can be really expensive. If you find one that is kind of handmade, they can be expensive. Okay, I'm not going to stain the bottom. Yes, I am. Because you know what? If I don't do it now, I probably won't do it later. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish it off. And that way, if this piece were to ever come up available for you to grab as your own, it will be a finished piece. I am slowly starting to run out of room for things, so I will eventually have to probably offer some of these things up to share with you all at some point. Okay, that is good, I believe. As long as we're not catching the house on fire over here. Okay, that was easy enough. I'm just taking the baby wipe and wiping off any of the excess, including what's on my hands. All right, now this will be a little bit damp. That's okay. Let's take this house for a second and let's see if we can turn that off. Oh my, these little gables aren't going to come off, I don't think. Gosh, dog it. How did I get them off so easy last time? And maybe it did take me a while. I don't remember. It's been so long. Ah, there we go. Ah, that worked. Just had to use a little bit of elbow grease. Yay! I really want the straight lines of that rooftop. Okay, that works out perfect. Now, I do have a little bit of glue residue on this. I would suggest to take a piece of sandpaper, and smooth that down, okay? I do not have sandpaper. I've got to get me some more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a rough coat of paint, and then I will come back and sand it later and add another coat. I am going to go ahead and wipe this down, though. This wood is really dry, and it will probably soak up that paint. So I'm going to just kind of dampen it a little bit. And that will also kind of help wipe off any dust that may have accumulated. Do y'all have things that accumulate dust? This has been sitting around in my pile for a while. It's made it with me through the move and everything. Okay, I do need to heat up the bottom here. This little bottom piece, it has to come off as well. So let's put the top on the antiquing wax. Come on, comments. Keep stopping on me. Get this bottom piece off. Let that heat up. I'm going to use black, like I said, on this house. And you know, the funny part is the rooftop, I did paint black. And I'm thinking, should I do the rooftop a different color since I'm doing the house black? A black roof and a black house, that might look a lot the same color. I tell you what we'll do. We'll paint the house first black, and then we'll see where that gets us. I'm thinking. This does work, but it takes a hot minute to get that glue good and hot. Okay, let's use what paint? I'm just going to use this one. This is just a real narrow chippy brush. I'm not worried about a perfect paint job on this, really, because I'm going to kind of scuff it up anyway. That is not coming off anytime real quick. Heat up all the way around it. And let me chat with you all real quick. Hi, Miss Kelsey. Um, Michael's has some that are similar too. Thank you, Miss Lisa. I appreciate that. Um, I know, I know. We may have to, hold on, over here. Um, there we go. We had a little bugger over there we had to take care of. The roof would be cute with antiquing like that. I swear I might be going with this, Teresa. I think our minds are thinking alike on this one, aren't we? I think so. I think that would be really cute. And then maybe do the chimney black. We could do the little chimney in black. I really would like to have this little chimney over to the side. It's just glue. It's not screwed or nailed anywhere together. Now I do remember this bottom piece being a little cantankerous to get off. Ugh. Okay. I'm not gonna fuss with it. I'm not gonna fuss with it right now. I can get it off later. All right. That has a little hang tag. Can't tell. Oh, it does go all the way down through the roof of this house. So I couldn't move that chimney if I wanted to because I would have a hole in the top of the roof. So we can't do that. That's okay. Um, Now, for this house, it's pretty thin, but there is a little bit of a thickness to the where the windows are cut out. I want to make sure that the inside of those panes get a coating of the black too, because the light's going to be shining through these little window panes, and I want it to be completely black. I don't want it to look like I've missed some spots painting, if you know what I mean. So I'm using my paintbrush to kind of get in those little window panes cutouts. Now, I know I have lots of crafting friends who cut out wood crafts, wood pieces, wood kits, craft kits. You know what I'm saying, right? I'm waiting for somebody to come out with one of these little saltbox house. One of these little saltbox houses. I would love to see it when you do. I can't imagine it being too difficult. However, I don't know a whole lot about the wood cutting machine. So, um, and if you've seen one, let me know. I think we could make somebody really happy if they could make us really happy with some cute little wood softbox houses. Don't you think? Okay. This is a little tedious just with these little window cutouts and stuff. So I am taking just a minute to make sure that I get them covered. So after we get these little cutouts covered, then the rest will go super fast. Okay. And since this is a little cheap chippy brush, of course some of my bristles are wanting to come off. I'm going to get those off. Um, hopefully I got it. And then I'm going to smooth out my paint so that I don't have any globs. I did on the original house, I did paint the inside of the house black. However, um, I have figured out a different way that I like these little houses now. And by doing so, it doesn't require you to paint the inside black. Okay. So I'll show you what I do with mine in just a little bit when we get to the step of adding the light and hopefully I can walk you through that process, which will require me to get the bottom off of this house. So we'll see. We'll see. If not, I'll tell you how to do it. And I may have to finish it up with a hammer and a little bit stronger of a heat tool after after we end the live video. Now on the sides up here, I am trying to be a little bit careful with my lines, just so that if I choose to do the antiquing wax for the roof, I can do so without it looking messy under there. Want a good clean line, which this brush is not designed for. So let me use one of these little small brushes to get right up here in the corner. I will say occasionally I see little Saltbox house lamps on Marketplace. I've seen one a couple weeks ago. So if you're wanting to look for a larger scale Saltbox house light, check out Marketplace. Surprise, surprise, right? I love Marketplace, and you can find some really cute things on there. While I have this little brush handy, I'm going to go ahead and do this side as well. Yeah, that is the key to get that smooth line up there under the eave, under the roof line, if you will. I guess you could say. Okay. If you're just tuning in and you missed the beginning, I did mention that Monday at 5 p.m. Central Time, I will be posting information about our hotel accommodations for our upcoming September road trip meetup in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. If you have been waiting for the info, Monday at 5 p.m., I'll post the info here on my page. Okay. I'll also share it in my Telegram channel. Okay. It will not give you direct access to the hotel accommodation info. It will give you a link to the Pennsylvania Road Trip Meetup group. Okay. And that will help us to monitor, kind of who sees that information. If we post it just publicly, anybody and everybody can see it. And we only want those that are truly interested in the trip to get that information. Okay. So, but Monday at 5 p.m., I'll be posting that information. And at that time, by Monday, I should also have the shirt design sample for you to see. I don't know if I'll have ordering info ready just at that time, but I'll at least have the design that you'll be able to see. I got a little bit of black up there on that roof line. That's okay. Oh, my nose is tickle, tickle, tickle. Mm-mm-mm. So, who is thinking about possibly coming to see us in Pennsylvania? If my comments would work, I would love to chat with you. There we go. Veronica, those fabrics are from these stack boxes right here. These are from my friend Esmeralda at Lovett's Garden. If you want to get a pencil ready, I'll tell you how to spell it, or maybe you can remember it, or you can watch the replay if you don't have something handy to write it down with. It's LUVITTS dash garden. Okay, that's her Facebook page. She does live sales, and if you aren't able to watch her live sales, or if you're interested in something specific, you can send her a message, and she will be more than happy to help you out. Now, the majority of those fabrics are from her, but I also have some of those fabrics from my friend Lisa at Lisa Letters. Okay, Lisa Ann Letters. She does a lot of hand lettering. You can find her here on Facebook as well. Um, but she also has some sweet little ribbon bundles that I also used in a couple of places on that lamp. If you're wanting the exact fabrics that I used. Now you can use any fabric scraps that you have, and it's the perfect project for fabric scraps. It really is. I'm just using this little brush to get in those windows because I'm going back in here. I'm seeing some places where I missed. So take this little brush and twirl it around in those little window cuts. Okay. I'm missing those comments. I'm missing them. Hang on, I'm going to tune right back in over here in just a second. I'll check them out. Okay. Oh, I forgot the back here. Yes, thank you, Miss Pat. Is let's see, is Esmeralda in the comments? She might be in the comments today. Um, I know a lot of times she is, but I haven't been looking close enough to see if she's on here today. Um, hey, Miss Laurie, how are you, friend? Okay. I've got to get just a little bit of extra paint here. Now, I don't really have to worry so much about not getting that bottom piece painted, I guess, because I'm going to take it off, but I don't know. I'm just smoothing down some of my paint clumps. I don't want it to look streaky. I want that paint to be smooth. So I'm just making sure I don't have any globs. And if I do, I'm smoothing them out. I'm still catching little little spots that I missed on these windows. Goodness. Okay. Let's give this a quick dry. It won't take very long, and then we will get our baby wipes back out and we will do the rooftop. Oh, that's right, Brenda. You're right. She was not going to be on today because she had to go to the airport to pick up her mother-in-law. I remember that, Brenda. Thank you so much. That is right. I had forgotten about that. Okay, now keep in mind, I have not sanded my little areas of the glue off. So mine might not look as smooth. You know, where the glue is, it might repel my stain. So when you're getting ready to do yours, you'll want, if you have this problem with whatever you get, you'll want to make sure that you sand off that glue. And I will, but for the sake of doing this on a live today, I'm going to just go ahead and stain over it, and then I'll resand it and restain it later. Okay. I'm still seeing some. I can't believe that. Still see some little spots that I missed. Um, we're doing good on time. Hey, Miss Stephanie. Um, okay, Miss Deanie. Thank you so much. All right, Miss Lisa and Miss Esmeralda both can help you out. If you just send them a message, they will be more than happy to help you out. And I'm not sure if Miss Esmeralda has much of that patriotic fabric left that's exactly like that, but she has some that's beautiful. I was watching someone yesterday, I think it was Miss Donna on Cypress Designs. She had some beautiful fabric from Miss Esmeralda that I had not seen yet. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's so pretty. All right, we're going to let that kind of finish drying on its own. And while it is, I'm going to use a little brush, I think, to apply this antiquing wax to the top, just because I feel like it'll be a little bit more easier to control, maybe. Maybe. We'll see. I was just using a baby wipe to kind of wipe it on here. But this little this is a birdhouse, and when you put that little candle light on the inside, I'm telling you, it takes it up about 10 notches, and it makes the cutest little candle lamp you ever did see. Okay, this brush is just also helping me get a straight line around the edges of that chimney that I think I'm going to paint black. I think it'll work in our advantage to kind of alternate the colors. So that's why I'm not doing all the pieces all one color, else it's just going to all blend in. You won't be able to see um, the different pieces of the little house if we painted it all the same color or if we used two colors next to each other. And that's a tip that can also help you when you're decorating, when you're doing your decorating and your vignettes, your wall colors, your cabinet colors, your countertop colors, which I would have picked out a different flooring color um, or cabinet color for the home that we're in right now. But, I wasn't here when those things were being chosen. But I do think about it every day. I'm like, oh, my eye just sees the floor and the cabinets as all one thing, and I need separation. I need separation in color. So if you have dark cabinets, go with a light countertop. If you have light cabinets, you go with a darker colored countertop. But if there are people that like monochromatic, which are a lot of the same colors but different shades. See lots of white kitchens that way. But our eyes really like contrast, which is differences in color, lights against darks, and so forth. So if you're having trouble getting something to look right, try that tip and see if it helps. And I bet it will. Okay, now let's get a little underhang here. This little house is going to be quite a bit darker than my other house. The little house that I did a few years ago that I was talking about, I did it in like a farmhouse green, like a vintage farmhouse green color. I love it. I love it. I have another large black salt box house, and but it's in a different room, and I don't think I'll ever have it in here in the same room. So I wasn't too worried about it, but I have one that is kind of like a barn red color. So I knew I didn't want to use that color. Um, I thought about making it a dark blue, but I decided not to. I thought black would be safe with the things that I put on this table behind me, which is where I'm planning on putting this little lamp. I thought that would just work best. Okay, I've got a little glob of paint right up here under this roof that I'm trying not to get my brush into. So I don't want it to mix with my paint or my stain here. I know I'm putting this on like paint, but it is a stain and I'll wipe off the excess here in just a moment. I'm just using this brush for easier application, if you will. Okay, now I still need to get a little bit of the under part of the roof line here, but for time's sake, we're going to be good with that for right now. Okay, now let's take some wet baby wipes. It's had time to kind of soak in. So now we're going to wipe it back, okay? It's just antiquing wax. Waverly antiquing wax. It looks like a paint, but it's actually a stain. So I've put it on pretty thick and I'm going to wipe across and you'll see that you can see the grain of the wood. And I love that. So this is definitely going to have a different look um, than the other house. Oh no, yeah. Gosh, dog, you see where my glue was? I'm going to have to sand that. Yep. I've got to get me some new sandpaper. Gosh, that's so bad. The glue, it prevents that stain from soaking in. So that's why when you wipe, the stain comes right off. Um, so I'm going to cover that back up for right now. I'm going to cover that up so that it doesn't look so ugly. And then I'm gonna have to go on a wild goose chase to see if I can't find some sandpaper in this house when I'm finished. So I'll sand that down and reapply, and it will stick better. And I'm just gonna paint this little chimney black. Okay. It acts like a resist. If you're familiar with like watercolor painting, a lot of times you will put down either like wax. It's also like when you do, if you've ever done the like the chippy paint technique where you put down candle wax on your surface in areas and then you paint over it and then you scrape it off. It's acting the same way. That's a resist. It's preventing something from making contact with the surface. And so that's what it's doing. So you'll definitely want to sand that glue off if you're doing something similar. And I could have left those little gables on, but to me, a traditional Saltbox house does not have the gables. So I thought I can take that off and be just fine with it. I need to find the photo of my little green Saltbox house. And I can share that with you. It's so cute. It's still I still use it. This one, I almost dipped this in the wrong bottle. Okay, smooth it out. And make sure we get that top little circle, that little hole where the hanger was, because this is designed as a birdhouse. It had a little hanger up there. So make sure we get that painted. Okay, that's what I have so far. Now, let me see if I can find some. I have some sandpaper, I think, unless I threw it away. But it's just not real. I need something with a little bit uh, larger grit. Let's see. There's not much grit left on this one. Maybe right there. Um, so what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to take it and I'm going to scuff it down the edges of this little house. And it's going to pull away some of the paint around the edges, which is good because I want it to do that. Because that bare wood that shows underneath, I'm going to also put a stain on that will kind of help pull in some of the colors from the rooftop. I hope I'm not shaking the camera. I hope I'm not shaking the camera. Hey, Miss Jeanette, how are you? Coming into the hot mess here. Got a mess going on. Got a big old mess. But this is something that's been sitting in my stash. And I thought, you know what? I just need to make it. I just need to get it done. So, kind of an oldie but a goodie project idea. This is really not abrasive enough to really pull much of the paint off. It did a little bit. So one of these little paint stain wipes, I'm just going to smooth it over those edges And then that really bright white wood is not going to show through there. I'm just going to cover it up with the stain, and then it will kind of coordinate and look like it's supposed to, except for the front of that rooftop. Looks like a mess. Here's a thought. Here's a fun thought, and I didn't think about this till just now. You could use some corrugated cardboard if you wanted to and make the rooftop. You could cover that rooftop with some corrugated cardboard and really jazz it up. That would look cute. I did not think about that. All right, so I'm just going to kind of do a quick dry here. I see another spot in those windows that I missed. Okay, now I need to get the bottom off of this house, this bottom wood piece, but I'm going to have to use a hammer, and I do not want to do that in your ears because that would be way too loud. So here's what we're going to do here. Come on, comments. Oh, Miss Cindy Lou, I didn't know you were here, sweet friend. I miss you. I miss you. I hope you're doing good. We're going to take this little candle, these little electric candles that I get on Hobby Lobby, on Amazon. I'm telling you, my brain is not with it today. Don't know what my deal is. And we're going to put this on our platform, all right? We're going to glue it right there on that platform. This house, once we get this bottom base off, the house is going to sit down over said candle, okay? But I need to get this platform off. We're gonna run out of time. But here's what I do with the inside. The candle gets pretty bright if you don't have something behind your windows. So here's what I've done. On my other little house that I did, I took a piece of cheesecloth, okay? Took a piece of cheesecloth and I folded, I probably cut it too small. I folded it. Yeah, I cut it way too small. Let's try that again. I folded it so that it was thick enough that you couldn't really like see through it. You know, so like some cheesecloth is so thin. It's so loosely woven that you can't see through, or you can see through it rather. And I didn't want mine to be able to see through. So get it the thickness that you need it, okay? And then here's what I did. I took some hot glue, okay? And inside this house, I'm telling you this because I'm not going to be able to get this bottom off to show you. Inside this house, above the top row of, there we go. I put a line of glue around the whole top or down the sides, okay, and across the bottom. That's inside the house. And then I stuck this piece of cheesecloth right there so that this acts as a curtain on the inside of the lamp, okay? And that helps give you a softer glow of light through the windows. You get what I'm saying here? I do have a Dremel, but I know, do I have it with me? No. No, I don't. I've done one of these before, and it's just gonna take me a little bit. So I'll keep fussing with it. And I'm gonna sit it over top that. You might need to cut out a little notch for your cord to pass through. Okay. Cut out a little notch on the back, slide that down over your light with the little shade, the little cheesecloth curtain behind there, and then it will light up and be a perfectly cute little lamp. Okay, so you will head over to my friends over in the Craft on the Clock group, live crafting all day today, a new show every 45 minutes. And I can't remember who's up next, but go to the group, find out, and I will see you again Friday morning at 9 a.m. for a Dollar Tree craft idea. We're going to take something from the Dollar Tree and completely give it a flip, and it'll be something perfect for your primitive home decor. So I'll see you again soon. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye.